Billy got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to the latest edition of Boot to the Face, powered by FullPressCoverage.com. Go there for all your sporting wants and needs, where I am sure they will be talking about all the teams that won their conference championships this past week to get into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you who won. I couldn't tell you who lost. I know UNC lost to, what was it, NC State or something like that?
I know NC State won the ACC tournament.
Yeah, they beat UNC, right?
Maybe. I can't recall who were in the final.
Go to fullpresscovers.com. I'm sure they will talk about all of that, along with Full Press Cowboys, which is, I finally came out with another edition of that last week. I'll be dropping another one regarding free agency, which is going crazy right now in the NFL. So go to fullpresscoverage.com and check out all of that. But we are here to talk about wrestling. And before we get into that, EJ, how the hell was your weekend? I hope it wasn't as busy as mine.
That was a pretty chill weekend. Did a little karaoke. That was fun. Man, besides that, just relaxed.
Any Irish songs on the karaoke machine?
The guy, the DJ who was running the thing, he did like a Irish song in between, like when he was closing the first round and opening up the second round, and nobody really cared.
Well, I worked at an Irish bar all weekend, 9 a.m. to close Saturday, 9 a.m. to close. Well, not necessarily close, but 9 a.m. to about 10 p.m. on Sunday. And those people love that Irish. They had Irish bands playing, doing Irish dances and shit. Just a bunch of drunk fucking people. Everybody's having a good time now. Only had cops kick out like 2 people.
Only.
Yeah.
What'd they do?
One guy was so drunk that he was sitting at a picnic table and just fucking fell over. And when he was told he was getting cut off, he didn't like it. So cops had to ask him to leave. And then I cut another guy off because he was at my bar and he was trying to impress this group of he was a Hispanic guy. He was trying to impress this group of white women, including their mom, by buying them all kind of drinks and shit. And then he like had them walk away and he was like, so I got to move my money from this account to this account real quick. I'm going to pay for it, but it's going to one of them type of things. And he was so drunk. He bought me a shot. We took a shot and I told him, I was like, you can't drink anymore. Like you can barely keep your eyes open. But yeah, it was a good time, man. It was, it's hard work. I put on Instagram, like if you go out and if your server's not just a complete asshole to you, you should treat them way better than people actually treat them. Like this shit is hard. Like standing up on your feet all day. You don't think it is until you do it. Like I lift shit all day, right? Like I deliver kegs, but I get to sit down in between stops and shit like that. When you're just constantly standing up on concrete, that shit hurts.
Yeah, the service industry ain't for the faint of heart. It's a lot harder than it looks. So hats off to everybody in the service industry.
And I can tell you, all those jokes where they say like they're all fucking each other, they're true.
Like the movie Waiting.
I've never seen Waiting. I've heard about it, but like the shit that I seen go on with like nobody was actually like fucking, but how they interact with each other and shit like that is just like I'm mad that I never worked in the service industry when I was younger because I could have a lot of fun.
Hey, I mean, that's with anything though. If you around people long enough, you're gonna eventually cross that line. It may be, ramped up to all the way to 10 in the service industry, but that's like every job.
Well, I
Especially a
think in the
trucker.
service industry also, like you're constantly, especially the women, they're constantly in like flirty mode trying to get tips. Chances are y'all are either high or drunk while you're at work because like they don't test or anything like that. And they're all young and for the most part, like good looking people. So the testosterone and the horniness is just flying. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a breeding ground for breeding, I guess.
Breeding ground for breeding. I see what you did there. And sometimes people breed in the bathrooms, co-workers.
Yeah, or FedEx trucks, whatever.
Ugh.
Um WWE 2K24, the commercial's on right now. EJ, you said you've been playing it. How you liking it so far?
It's fun, man. I mean, not a lot of difference between last year's game. I was
Mm.
talking about it in the Discord. They got like the updated championships. They had like the old ones last year, Raw and SmackDown women's, but now they got the women's belt in the world, the real world belt. Um, I hadn't really played a lot, so I hadn't really explored if they added any like new match types. They may have, but if they did, I didn't explore that part yet. But I'm basic when it comes to playing those games. Like a lot of people like doing like the Hell in the Cell, the uh war games. I just usually do single matches and do the career. I still hadn't even started the career mode in it. So, but I mean, it's not a bad game. It's fun.
You do more than me because last year the game came out. I tried to play it and I wasn't good at it. So I literally just went through like watching everybody's entrances. That was it. I would pick people. I would try to do their special moves and shit if I liked them or whatever. And if I couldn't do it, I'd just restart the match and pick somebody else. Watch it. I did that shit for like 3 hours one day. And that was it. I don't think I've turned the game on since.
It's a waste of money.
It was like $20 when I bought it though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I bought it well after it came out.
Hey, it be like that sometimes. Did we talk about the backlash that Bianca got for being on the cover? I think we did. I can't remember.
I don't, if we did, we'll do it again. What a what a crock of shit.
Yeah. People say, why bring up color? Well, this is why, because people out there are still assholes. So you gotta remind people from time to time.
Who were it was Cody, Bianca, and Rhea?
Yeah.
And they said, oh, the two on the right belong, but the one on the left doesn't. And somebody's like, well, she's only there because she's black. Like, what the fuck? Since when did being black get you places? Like,
You know the narrative up there that affirmative action and people just do it just to check the boxes.
fuck it. If that's the case, where's fucking Io and Nakamura and Dominic Mysterio and Sheamus? Like, shouldn't they have everybody on there if they're trying to check all the boxes? Why is it only checking the boxes when the black woman gets on there?
Well, if you're a troll and the box already checked, they already got one minority. So I don't know.
Yeah. It was cool to see all the other wrestlers come out and like vouch for and without anybody being like talking about the fact she was black. It was more the fact that she's just a nice fucking person. And it got nothing to do with what color her skin is. People are just fucking idiots.
Man, she's still like what, one of the longest reigning women's champion ever.
And chances are, whoever your favorite wrestler is, she's probably better than them.
Yeah,
There's a
most
pretty
likely.
good chance.
So I hope she blocks all the haters out and keeps doing her thing. I'm sure she probably just, ignored it.
I'm
She
sure
got a lot of, yeah, go ahead.
Montez took a advantage of that and tried to comfort her.
Exactly. She's got to worry about getting those Hulu checks. She worry about uh,
She got work.
faceless Twitter troll.
She got to worry about trying to get on the WrestleMania card.
Oh yeah, we might touch on that a little later.
So I didn't go to any wrestling shows this week, EJ.
I'm surprised you're on a roll.
I had to watch everything on TV. I didn't catch a lot of I had to speed through everything because like I said, I worked 12, 13 hours Saturday and Sunday, and yesterday I took a vacation day from work, man, and I just tried to recuperate. We went to Waffle House in the morning, kind of slept throughout the day. Then went and got some shrimp and grits last night and got ready for work this morning. So everything I watched was kind of a speed through version, but I think I got the gist of everything. I did watch AEW live because Mercedes Moné was rumored to debut, which actually happened. Um, I watched SmackDown in its entirety. Collision, Rampage, and Raw I watched in a bit of fast forward, but wrestling was overall wrestling was good this week. I want to say this because I don't know if I talked about this last week. I know like AEW is like the joke, right? Because they can't fill stadiums, quote unquote, and they're not getting the attendance and the ratings are down or whatever. Not for nothing. AEW's been good lately.
I mean, we've been saying that the past few weeks. I've been noticing that basically since the beginning of the year, but Sting was the point where a lot more people started noticing that they've been better doing booking and whatnot. And who's the woman that they hired? The one with Sasha Banks or Mercedes Monet? I can't remember, Jennifer, or maybe she's helping with that, like get
Oh,
the
I don't know.
narrative turnaround and the boat steered correctly, so to speak. But yeah, there's a lady who's worked with her in WWE. They hired her a couple months ago, I want to say. Can't remember her name off the top of my head. But yeah, man, they were putting a solid show after solid show, and we talked about it last week. I mean, they keep doing what they're doing. I think you will start to see things slowly pick up as far as like tangible numbers and stuff, but it's not gonna all happen overnight. You gotta be consistent.
I do have a couple nitpicks with AEW though.
Go
And
ahead.
I want to say this because we just got done saying how we thought AEW's been good and we want them to kind of keep their momentum. I sound like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Their momentum and get it going and get your million views every week and start getting better pay-per-view buys because WWE's cooking right now. There's enough room for AEW. There's enough room for TNA. But let's just mainly talk AEW. All right. They got Mercedes Moné that came out. And these are two things that I noticed on the show just last week. Darby Allin cut a really good promo uh against my boy Switchblade here in Atlanta and told us that he was going to go climb Mount Everest. So they run a fucking angle last week where the Bullet Club turns on the Scissor Gang and quote unquote breaks Darby Allin's leg. Or they were going to. They were going to injure his leg to write him off TV, right? Scissor Gang comes out, saves him. Darby's gone. I'm thinking, okay, good. They're just going to write him off TV. Like, no, nope. They go back and get Darby. They bring him in the ring, and they run an angle where they fuck his leg up. Everybody knows he's going to be climbing Mount Everest. We know the motherfucker's not really hurt. Why are you running an injury angle when he just came on TV and said that's what he was going to do next week?
Well, did you read the news?
No, I didn't read the news. I don't like my wrestling to come with homework.
He is hurt, so maybe that's why they went ahead and did that.
Hurt from what?
I heard he broke his foot during the match,
So
he
he's
can't.
not climbing Mount
Yeah,
Everest.
he's not climbing Mount Everest.
Oh, well, I guess my whole diatribe about that was pointless then. So good on them, I guess. Okay. Well, I know this one ain't gonna go sideways. The main event is Willow Nightingale versus Riho. First off, why? But that's neither here nor there. Watching Riho do belly to back suplexes on Willow was the most ridiculous fucking thing I'd ever. Whatever, regardless. The start of the match, Willow comes out with Chris Statlander and Stokely, Chris is her best friend, right? So you show that she's in the building, and then Willow's getting jumped, and Statlander's nowhere to be found, and she gets saved by Mercedes Moné. If you're not gonna have Statlander come help her quote unquote best friend, Why the fuck are you putting her on TV? Just say she's not there.
So it you're not the first person I've heard mention this, and it is a little bit of a nitpick, but I mean, you should make it make sense. But this is where they should probably put things on TV instead of just on social media. Apparently, they released a social media clip where Statlander said she got jumped in the back or something like that. So it is what it is, I
Everybody's not on
guess.
Twitter, Tony Khan. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. We are. I didn't see it, but everybody's not. Like I just said, I don't like my wrestling to come with homework.
yeah. So
I don't, you know, we're going to talk about this guy a lot, but Cody used to say that in AEW. He used to say, we don't need people to have to go find answers to our TV show. The answers should be given to them on our TV show. And that's fucking right. Um, One more thing I think AEW needs to do that they don't is now that I feel like they've got their core stable of wrestlers that you're going to see every week, which is what we've been asking for, right?
mhm.
Tony Storm, Samoa Joe, Mercedes Moné, more than likely, Moxley, Bryan Danielson. Like these people you can count on to be on TV every week. And, there's more to it than that. That's just off the top of my head. And everybody else is just kind of filter in and out. So you know what AEW needs to do now? When they come to Atlanta, I need to know who's going to be on that show. Because I went to that show, I bought both of those tickets. I had no idea who was going to be there until they advertised on Dynamite. They told us who was going to be at Collision. But going into Dynamite, no idea. You don't have to tell the whole world. But here in Atlanta, what WWE does is they say, come to the State Farm Arena. You're going to see Cody Rhodes and main event Jey Uso and Bianca Belair and blah, blah. They tell you who's going to be there. AEW doesn't do that. And I think that's hurting them because fool me once, shame on me. Or you. Fool me twice, whatever. You know how it goes. If I go to a show, say in St. Louis, 2 times and I don't get to see who I wanted and I just banked on you to do it, I'm probably not going to do it again. So if you're not advertising and telling me who's going to be there and then making good on that advertisement, that's probably how you're not getting these full houses because AEW shows are fun. Like if you've been to 1 or 5, you have fun when you go to AEW shows.
So when WWE does it, where do you see where they're advertising the people for the show?
You could be watching television and a commercial will come on, be watching a basketball game locally, and that local commercial will run in Atlanta. You could be scrolling and they got your location on there and be on Facebook and it'll say, Monday Night Raw will be at State Farm Arena in 3 weeks. And then it'll have a list of the people that are going to be there.
Yeah.
It's not hard. You just got to do it.
Yeah. I think that's part of it. I don't think that's the only problem right now with the attendance or with the fixing. But yeah, that's simple. I mean, you got to throw promos out there with your local market, however you do it with the geotags. And for the show that I went to last year, I didn't see anything as far as promo because you got to promote the people that are going to be there. So want to drive people out there. And I think they are starting to attempt to do that because when I was back home, when was I back home for? I think the Christmas break. So yeah, the Christmas break. Was it the Christmas? Yeah, the Christmas break. I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw that they were going to be in North Charleston Coliseum. I'm like, oh, first time I've seen this. So keep it up. So maybe they just need to start pumping it out more if you didn't see it for Atlanta the past couple weeks or so.
Yeah. And like you said, that's not the only thing, but those are little things that, like I said, I worked at an Irish bar this weekend, and one of the guys there is a big Irish dude, Johnny, that's been there for years. And he's like, you believe it? They had me on the fucking radio this weekend promoting this shit. He was on local radio here talking about coming to this one Irish bar in like Milton, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you can get Johnny the Irish guy on the radio, why can't fucking Sky Blue come in 2 days early and talk to somebody, or Will Hobbs or something like that? Like, and if they are doing this, this is just number 2 of me not knowing what's happening on the outside. But I'm just throwing out ideas, just trying to like to figure out what they need to do to capitalize on the positivity they got going now. Because right now they do have positivity. I mean, in the last month and a half, you've signed or you've had debut and become full time competitors Will Osprey, Okada, and Mercedes Monet. Like you have momentum going, and I want them to capitalize on it. That's it. So anyway,
Yeah, I mean, also that's why you got like those ambassadors sign. Like, why don't you can't send the rest of there? Like, why don't you have Mark Henry going to these cities and going to radio stations and the morning shows to promote more? Maybe they are, and I don't see it. And if so, then I don't know.
well, speaking of AEW, EJ, we had a big time debut this past week. Mercedes Monet comes in. They have 10,000 fans in the TD Bank Garden, I think is the name of it,
Mhm.
where the Celtics play. Everything I read said that they had more fans than the last Blood and Guts, all on a rumor. Uh, so Mercedes Monet fans will say, "Look, just on a rumor, she sold more tickets than Blood and Guts did." And Mercedes Monet haters will say, "Yeah, but they only got like 798,000 people watching that week with her on there." So it's been a constant fucking argument about that. But as far as the debut goes, how'd you like it?
I liked it. But going back to like the Monet lovers and the haters, I mean, 10,000 or 9,000, however they did, it's nothing to sneeze at. And it's,
Mm.
I heard that the ratings were like 800, and I thought that when she debuted, it peaked at 1 million. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah,
But as far as the actual debut, it was cool. I heard a lot of people, including you, that didn't like her theme music, but
I
I
did.
thought it was I thought it was cool. I mean, because it gets people to chant her name, unlike her New Japan, crisscross Nipsey Hussle theme.
Yeah, but
And people were
I don't
chanting it,
know.
so it did its job.
Yeah, but I mean, we talk about Seth Rollins all the time and other people that have like catchy theme songs and shit like that. But this was just like beating you over the head with it, like CEO, the whole that was the whole song. I didn't I think the reason I didn't like it was because when you debut somebody from another company and you can get their regular music, that money, that music was like growing on you when she was in New Japan. You saw the video all over and you would have known what it was. But this was just kind of like, I don't know. It's like they didn't have the lyrics turned up loud enough and the CEO part was just loud as hell. I don't know. I didn't like that. That's the only issue I had with it. But as far as like the presentation, she looked like a fucking star. They treated her like a fucking star. She looked great. And then even came back out and got physical at the end of the night.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna nitpick a little. I didn't really like her promo, and I think that's always been a knock on her, the promo. But everything else, like the presentation, how they rolled her out and how they tied it in throughout the show, which people will always give AEW, fits for, not having like seamless, straight through storylines. Like when they have a segment, they won't touch on it. You know how WWE, like you'll see that person throughout the night, and they
Yeah.
did that with Mercedes this time, and they had her with backstage. Who she go up to? I can't even remember off the top of my head. Rio, was it Rio? She went to backstage before. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was Riho she went and talked to.
She talked to somebody backstage, and then she went out and made the save. Like you said, I guess like if they weren't gonna bring Statlander back out, I guess this is why, because Mercedes was coming out. But yeah, I like the debut. She's supposed to be there this Wednesday, so let's see how they can keep the momentum going.
I didn't mind her promo. I know people don't like her promo skills or whatever, but I don't know. I think she said what she needed to say. She didn't fucking take shots at WWE really, which I figured she would have, but she didn't. Um, she got her point across. I will tell you that I'm very shocked that it looks like she's gonna be feuding with the fucking TNT champion and not going right for Tony Storm. And honestly, I we've talked well about Julia Hart on this show for a couple weeks, but I don't think she's the right dance partner for Mercedes to come in and that be her first opponent because I don't think Julia Hart can keep up with her.
I mean, she probably maybe Mercedes may be able to carry her where she looks pretty solid.
I don't know. I think, you know, you see Will Ospreay come in his match, he's wrestling Omega, but when he turns into full-time Will Ospreay, he starts off with Takeshita and then he wrestles Kyle Fletcher, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Give me the Kyle Fletcher in the women's division. Put her in there with why is she not fighting Serena Deeb? Serena Deeb's been talking shit about her. You know they could put on a good match.
That seemed like would have been a more natural fit. And maybe they'll pivot from this Julia Hart. Maybe that's not going to be the first feud.
As much as I like seeing Sky Blue in the ring, she can't keep up with Mercedes.
How do we know that though?
Because we've seen them wrestle for 2 years, EJ.
I think Julia Hart's been improving, and
Oh,
we said the same thing about Nia Jax. Probably
no.
won't be able to keep up with Becky.
We didn't say that. I've always thought Nia Jax is better than people give her credit for.
And then like all of those NXT girls that Becky went up against, who would have thought they would be able to keep up? I just think if you got a ring general in there, then it'll make the less experienced wrestler look decent.
This is no disrespect to Sky Blue because I'm a fan. Any of those NXT women that you name are better than her in the ring that wrestled Becky.
So now you're a big Lyra Valkyria fan.
I understand. I was a big fan. She's better in the ring than Sky Blue, though.
I got to go back and look at some tape of Sky Blue. She had to get Tiffany
You
in the
don't ever
main
watch no
roster.
damn tape. You watch just as much tape as fucking Kyle. What's his name? Arizona quarterback. We got to put that shit in
Kyler
your
Murray.
boot. We got to put that in your boot to the face contract now.
Kyler Murray.
You can't be playing Call of Duty. You need to watch film.
Who else did Becky have a match with? She had Tiffany, Lyra. I feel like she had a match with one other person. Maybe not though. But I mean,
She had like 2 or 3 with Tiffany. You tell me Tiffany ain't better than Sky Blue?
yeah, Tiffany is. I don't. How we know she's gonna wrestle Sky Blue though? I think Julia's better than Sky Blue.
Julia Hart better than Tiffany Stratton?
On the mic, she is, in my opinion. Not,
Julia Hart is?
yeah,
I couldn't pick her voice out of a lineup. I don't think I've ever heard her talk.
I think Tiffany is not all that on the mic, and that goes back to my Mercedes point because she was laying into it a little bit too much, like super baby face, and like the way she was like, it was almost like laying into it so much where I thought she was being sarcastic, and I thought she was going to turn on the crowd.
The
Oh,
MJF shit.
yeah, and it was just a straight up baby face from her. I'm like, okay, but I digress. But I don't think she should go after that TBS title. So I'm hoping that's not the direction they go to. But I'm not mad at her not going straight for Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Like you said, the Serena Deeb feud would have been more of a no brainer.
I think sometimes you have a star big enough to where they come in, you shoot them straight to the top. And I think in the women's division, she's definitely big enough to just go take the title.
She can, but why would you shoot your load right away if you don't have to? I feel like
Because
she could go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I feel like she can make people look good on her way to the top. She's not going to lose any of these people, but she can make a few people look good on the way to the top, build some woman up, and then go get that title. Because I don't want to see her and Tony at Dynasty. Like I wouldn't mind seeing it double nothing. Gives that a little bit more time to build up.
I feel like sometimes you have a star and you need to use that star and not. It's like Cody in AEW, which we're definitely going to talk about later. I don't want to be the world champion. The Young Bucks didn't want to be tag team champions to begin with. Like, you're the stars of the show. You should have the titles because it makes it less believable when the biggest stars on the shows don't even sniff the fucking titles. And you have an opportunity now to build your women's division around one of the biggest women stars in pro wrestling. Polarizing as hell. Like, even in our Discord, there's people that don't like her. There's people that love her, like me, right? Polar people are always talking about her though. So she's always getting a reaction one way or the other. It's never a for lack of a better person, it's never a Liv Morgan reaction when it comes to her. Where it's just like, some people like her, most people don't care for her. You got an opportunity to take your women's division to another level. Like, you've got Mercedes Moné now. You've got Tony Storm. You know, Julia Hart's on the rise. You got Britt Baker if ever she comes back. You got Jamie Hayter now. I feel like I'm missing a couple people also, but Thunder Rosa's back. Yeah, like you've got stars now and really good women's wrestlers. Put the title on her and let her just run through the roster, not run through them like dominate them. Let her run through by beating them in really good matches, showing that the women can fucking kill it. And I don't think there's a better flag bearer in that company than her.
I get it. I just said I don't think you have to do it right away. Just like one small quick feud right before she goes after Tony. Like I said, I wouldn't be mad at Double or Nothing. That's May. It's March. I don't think you have to do it at Dynasty. And then she goes on a run through the summer and All In and hold it till next year. I wouldn't be mad at that. Because it looks like Tony's not done with Deanna right now. So let them finish that out real quick. Have Mercedes do whatever she does right now. Like I said, I don't want her winning that TBS title. So I don't know what they're going to do in regard to that. Maybe have her and Willow tag up in a tag team match against those two.
I want to see her turn on Willow so bad.
Why?
I don't know. Just when they were in the ring and she lifted up Willow's hand, I wanted to kick her in the face. I don't know. Just heel Rucker was coming out, I guess. I was like, kick her in the face. I had no, I had no rhyme or reason for it. I just wanted her to turn on her.
I think Statlander is going to turn at one point. I think her getting beat up backstage was BS.
Right.
Storyline wise.
Laid up. Her and Stokely probably had their feet up eating Cheetos.
Stokely's hilarious. Yeah, but they got a lot of talent, man. So that's good problems, but it's all about how you utilize them. Like you said, if you don't utilize them right, it could all be for nothing.
You're absolutely right. Speaking of utilizing talent, we've got a tag team tournament for the AEW Tag Team Championships vacated by the undefeated Sting and Darby Allin. I was looking at the bracket. You have qualifying matches coming up, and then you got it'll be 18. Is it 8 teams? I believe it's 8 teams total, right?
I think so.
Once all the qualifying matches are over with. Who do you have walking away as new AEW World Tag Team Champions, EJ?
That is a good question because I was thinking about it and I've been going back and forth in my head. And I think everybody's qualified. The infantry, well, some black representation in there, even though it kind of came out of nowhere. They were mostly on ROH, but real life veterans. So gotta give hats off to them for qualifying. But I think there's just one last spot left, and that's Best Friends and Don Callis family have to battle out for that last spot.
Did the infantry qualified already? They beat House of Black?
Yeah, on Collision.
Nice.
I know you say you fast forwarded through it, but it was a smozzy finish. Where it wasn't a straight up finish. The Briscoe showed his head again and caused House of Black, and I guess they're continuing that. But a win is a win.
I mean, you kind of knew when they came out, called out FTR in Atlanta, that eventually they were gonna fight each other. Damn, Sol Ruka's back already, huh?
Yeah, she came back at their last little TV special. I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Man, it feels like just yesterday she tore her ACL.
Yeah, man, they're like robots now. The way they go in there and fix it. The ACL.
It's modern medicine's crazy.
I know, right? But yeah, you would think it was gonna be House of Black and FTR, but nope. Infantry stole House of Black spot. Top Flight, Ricky Starks, a Bill. What? I didn't know. Say it. That's one thing that they've been doing a good job, except for Ricky Starks. He's been gone for a while. Maybe that was it was meant to be like that. I feel like him and Big Bill are cold in this tournament. But I mean, I'm looking at the field right now, and
Yeah.
you got to go with the Bucks, right?
Yeah, I think it's either the Bucks or I really wouldn't mind if they did run with the infantry. That's who I wanted to pick, but I didn't know they had qualified yet. But I wouldn't be mad if they ran with them just because all these other teams have kind of had their run in one way or the other. Um,
Not Top Flight. I thought they were going
they
to be my
haven't had
tag
the
team of the year last year, but bro got hurt. Dante.
yeah, they haven't had a tag team run, but they have had a run like where they've been in significant matches and stuff like that. And I think I just don't see them beating the FTR. Man, the AEW tag belts are probably the best looking belts in wrestling right now.
Yeah, those things are pretty. But the way the storyline set up, the way that Ricky Starks and Big Bill destroyed FTR, I could see that definitely being a semifinal match.
Semifinal. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Undisputed Kingdom. Why? And they
Yeah.
already got the RH belts. I'm over them. I can see it's gonna be probably best friends versus them storyline wise. That makes sense. Yeah, the Bucks. I mean, I'm still not a Bucks fan, but at least this heel thing is something different, and they're leaning into the fact that they're dicks. So
Did you say you were going to Dynasty?
I'm on the fence, but it was gonna be like a definite no. But now that this Osprey and Danielson match, like it's a 50-50 chance now. Like,
Well, you'll probably get Bucks and FTR for the tag titles too.
hmm, I guess that match does make sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll probably see you definitely see new tag team champions crown. So that's always fun to see a new champion, which we didn't get at Revolution.
yeah. Heel Bucks champions being slimy and using their authority to keep the belts. That's interesting. So I wouldn't be mad at that and build somebody up. But I hope the people that take it off of them aren't like FTR. I hope it's like you said, like an infantry or a top flight eventually. Whenever you do that, maybe an all in.
You can get section 212 right now for $28 at Dynasty, but that is the top of the arena. Let's see here. You can get on the floor
How much?
for $545.
Get out of
That's
here.
way more than I paid for my Revolution ticket. That's crazy. Why?
That's how the prices always are here. I don't know why. Maybe it's selling good. I mean, it's a 10,000 seat arena. I think if they need to be like 6 to 7,000 for it to be a success in my eyes.
These aren't even resale tickets either. Section uh floor one, row two, $923.
And that's not resale?
No, it's fucking standard admission. Standard admission.
I mean, get out of here, man. Paying that.
Again, that's almost four times what I paid. No, three times what I paid for my Revolution ticket, and I was on the floor in row four. Uh,
The only thing I could think of is they're actually moving tickets if the price is like that.
yeah. You get section. There's no way these are standard admission tickets, man.
Yeah, they're probably reselling. You just can't see
But
it.
usually it says that. Huh. Interesting.
But I'm gonna find my black ass there if the lower level seats are in the 200s or something like that.
Section 100, row A. So you're in the front row. Section 100, $635.
Fuck out of here.
Uh, yeah, it doesn't say anything about this being a resale ticket either. That is
I
crazy.
think they have to be. It just probably doesn't label that.
They usually do though. It'll usually say official resale ticket is what it'll say on there.
Yeah, but maybe not in this case because I can't
Yeah.
see them. And then them differing like that, like those prices were all over the place.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna go with either the Bucks or the infantry. I'm gonna go with either the biggest wild card or the
But favorites,
predictable. Yeah, the predictable favorites.
yeah. I don't see the infantry making it past this round, but if I feel like if you got the infantry up in this tournament, you got to keep them up on the main roster. I hate this back and forth between ROH, NXT. It has structure. Like when you start seeing them go back and forth a little bit, that means they're about to make the jump to the main roster for good, like with Braun Breaker. But ROH, it's all mismatch and hosh posh, and you got Taven and Bennett. I don't even think they really wrestle on ROH like that, but they got the belts. I don't like
Yeah.
it.
They ran a really good Queen Amanada vignette
I
on
saw that.
AEW this past week. I saw her and Red Velvet. They'll why couldn't they have wrestled last week in Atlanta?
That would have been
I'm
fire.
a big Red Velvet fan. I did get to see my girl Kira Hogan though, but I would love to see Red Velvet wrestle in person in the front row. Oh, it would have been great.
I saw her in Springfield. Can't remember who she wrestled though. I want to say both of them wrestled, but I don't think they wrestled each other. Amanada and Red Velvet.
Mm.
But yeah, shout out to both of them.
Well, EJ, we got some Rock to talk about. We got some Cody to talk about. So before we do that, let's go ahead and get our street clothes wrestler of the week out of the way. You went first last week, I believe. I am going to go first this week. And I will tell you, this guy, I was not a big fan of him probably 2 years ago. And his in-ring work, his work on the mic, like how he just comes off as so fucking smug and better than you. And he looked very dapper signing his contract this week. None other than the Ring General Gunther. Little fly black and white suit.
Okay. I mean, it was nice and simple, but sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
It's a nice clean suit. And what he say to Sammy? He said, "Look what you come down to the ring with." Man,
He's just such a like a dick, but like it ain't like a pro wrestling dick. Like you look at him and the way he talks and all that, and you actually believe like this dude's an asshole. But then he's an asshole that can whoop your ass though. So you really gotta shut the fuck up. 'Cause-
exactly. And spoiler alert, Sammy ain't winning. So that's one early picks. I know we're gonna do official WrestleMania picks in a couple weeks, but Sammy ain't beating Gunther. Come on. But yeah, shout out to Gunther and his nice, clean black suit. My street clothes wrestler of the week is a lady that we've been talking about for the past 20 or so minutes, Mercedes Monet,
Mm,
and
she was
her white suit. I don't know, was it a suit, or was it just a jacket? Either way,
a
she was
cape,
killing it.
wasn't it? Didn't she throw a cape down and just walked out and it was a whole fucking ensemble.
It was like
It
a
was
white.
expensive.
It was exactly out of my bracket, but yeah, it was like you said, it was a robe, but then she took it off, and it's like a suit jacket almost, all white get up
Yeah.
with the CEO in the back of her hair. So
I
it's
love
nice.
what her and Naomi are doing with their hair, like putting different shit in there, like Anthony Mason back in the day. Only they're not cutting theirs, they're just like painting it.
Didn't Dennis Rodman do the same thing?
Yeah, I guess it is more Dennis Rodman, isn't it? Because he would dye his, but they're just kind of like painting theirs. But yeah, she was looking real good. That was a good like I said earlier, she looked like a fucking star. Like, and this is by no means any kind of way to talk negatively about AEW wrestlers, but some of their stars don't come across like stars. Like for a while, Kenny Omega was like coming out as the world champion in pajamas, basically. Am I lying? Like, if you picture Kenny Omega right now in AEW, he's wearing fucking sweats and a t-shirt. Right or wrong?
You're right, but I can't even remember off the top of my head, but it sounds funny. That sounds like something he would do.
And I mean, until the Bucks got this little get up, like they would come out dressed well for their matches, but when they just be on TV, it wasn't, superstar ish. Brian Danielson doesn't come out dressed like a superstar. Moxley doesn't come out dressed like a superstar. Samoa Joe finally does. MJF did, but for the most part, like they need a little bit of this star power that she's going to bring to. They need a little bit of this pizzazz that she's going to bring.
You know, someone at WWE who looks like a star and you hate on him constantly?
Ooh,
Seth Rollins.
he don't look like no fucking star. He looks like a goddamn dork.
Okay. Say what you want, but steady on TMZ with his outfits.
His wife outdresses him every week.
All right, Dwayne Jr.
Speaking of, by the way, you know, we're not going into this yet, but my boy Rock caught some flack because he kept saying Seth was Cody's girlfriend. And he had to quit saying that. But yet they can call the Rock Roman side chick. Isn't that the same fucking thing?
Yeah, it's the remix version. But, you know, when they want to paint the narrative in their favor, they'll do it. So it is what it is, I guess.
Power rankings, EJ.
Power rankings. I can't
Who
remember
were the
last week.
5 most powerful wrestling victories or wrestlers this past week in the world of professional wrestling, as told by your boys at Boot to the Face?
So I don't know who went first. I'll just kick it off. Number 5. You know, I usually don't put people on here that don't wrestle, but just gotta keep up with the theme, I guess. Mercedes Moné making her debut in AEW this past week, so I'll put her at the number 5 slot.
CEO, CEO, CEO. Um, my number 5 will be. I'll tag along with you, and I'll put Mercedes Monet. It was a big debut. Again, I know there's people that don't like her. I know there's people that love her. There's probably people listening to this right now that are tired of us talking about her. And there's probably people saying that we're not talking about her enough. But she's a number 5, big time debut. Helped basically sell out an arena. Uh, I was glad that her coming out at the beginning wasn't the end of it. That they could, because I can't remember Punk's debut. Like I remember his debut, but I don't think he actually did anything the rest of the night.
No.
It was only on Rampage though, so it was an hour. But they threaded her through the evening, and then she came out at the end to help out. So yeah, that works. My number 4, and this is a little bit of recency bias because I just saw something on TV. I'll go Roxy Perez. Turned heel last week. Beat the dog shit out of Lyra Valkyria. Looks, I don't know, something about a heel Roxy tonight. I was just like, she kind of looks different. Not in like a bad way, but like, I don't know. She just, the heel persona kind of fit.
Well, that definitely is recency bias because Roxy did not make my list. My number 4 is your AEW World Champion, Samoa Joe. He beat Wardlow last week in the opener for the Dynamite last week. Choked that boy out.
Mm.
And what happens with Wardlow now?
Talk all that shit.
That's what people are probably complaining about.
He talked all that shit and got choked out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what happens with him now?
Next time he come out doing all that hollering, everybody, boy, nobody's scared of you. Put your ass in a reverse chin lock. Watch you go to sleep. Ain't nobody worried about you.
I get that they're
Everybody.
trying to protect him, but he still got choked out. He didn't tap out, but he got choked out.
I mean, to me, that's even worse.
Why?
Because you're stupid. I'd rather die. You better fucking tap that mat 3 times and live to fight another day. You don't know Samoa Joe gonna let go of your motherfucking ass for you die or not.
Crown and Shield. Well, if that happens, the ref is liable too. But yeah, but still, like, where do you go with Warlow after this?
Back to the bottom of the totem pole, I guess.
Damn.
Yeah, I hate it for him too because I thought that promo he cut was really good a couple weeks ago, but it seems like it's always bad timing for Wardlow. Like every time he gets a little momentum going, it's just not the right time for him.
I don't really know what they did after he destroyed MJF. I feel like that was your window. Like, why not do it there? But what you gonna do it there? You can't put a championship. I sound like one of these internet dorks. I mean, you could put a championship on it, I guess. Like he'd be perfect for like an international championship. Like, why didn't you do that?
Well,
And
remember he had the TNT title right after that.
yeah,
He
they
won
were,
that, and
yeah.
then Hobbs took it from him, and then he took it right back like a month later, and then he lost it like a month later.
And they were flip flopping back and forth between Hobbs and Joe and Warlow with that. I mean, I guess that was what it was, but this is why you have these 3 mid-card belts to put the future on top. And I think Okada's going to take it from Kingston tomorrow. And Okada's made. I get why they're doing it, but then again, I feel like the younger talent should be holding on to these mid-card belts.
I think Okada doesn't win tomorrow, but he doesn't lose. And I think they end up fighting again at Dynasty, him and Kingston, and Okada win it there. I don't mind because it's a newly established belt. I don't mind having somebody like Okada get it and kind of legitimize it for a little while. And then maybe like Orange Cassidy did with the
International.
yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be mad at that one more so than why the hell does Christian still got the TNT belt? I get it, but he doesn't really need it. He's already established as the biggest dick in the company.
I mean, EJ, why am I watching a Bray Wyatt video about a special he's got and they got Hulk Hogan on there?
What they need to stop it. Like they're trying to push the narrative of getting them in the good graces as a wrestling fan or putting them on these documentaries and whatnot. No,
Fuck Hogan
yeah, he's not relevant.
at all.
We don't care. Get him off our screens and our TV. Every time he goes to the arenas, he gets booed out of the building.
Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair are two people I never need to see on wrestling TV anymore. As great for the business as they were, they both had shit going on outside the ring that's deplorable. And the business is doing fine without him. Why do you need Hulk Hogan on TV after what he did? People want to go see Hulk Hogan, they can go watch all the Hulkamania shit they want to on Peacock. We don't need this old racist motherfucker on TV in 2024.
I think I don't know how cool he is with Triple H, but maybe TKO will kind of fall back on the Hogan distribution or whatever they got going on with his Legend Steel. I hope so, but
Yeah.
not needed.
My number 3. It's my turn, right? Still?
Because you did
I
your
did
5 and
5 and
4,
4.
and it's time for my 4 and 3. My number 3. I don't think you watched this match, did you? So you didn't get to watch Collision.
Fast forward.
This is probably the best like technical match of the week. We had more fast-paced matches on the WWE side, which we'll get to, but far as like technical wrestling and what you nerds out there like to watch. Bryan Danielson, he got a win over Kasori Shibata on Collision, which was a really, really good match. And I highly recommend anybody who hasn't watched it to watch it. And Bryan Danielson's trying to get his shit in before he goes part time and trying to wrestle everybody on his list. So shout out to him.
Him and Osprey could smoke that shit.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what kind of style because Brian is more of like a storyteller. He doesn't like to go balls to the wall, and we know Osprey goes 0 to 100 real quick. So kind of
Mm,
curious to what kind of story they tell in that man.
gonna
But
be good.
here for it.
Now
Yeah.
my number three, AEW World Heavyweight Champion, the choke outerer, Samoa Joe.
Uh, yeah, shout out to Joe. You think
My number,
you
go
think
ahead.
I'll say you think they're gonna have him and Swerve at Dynasty or Double or Nothing?
I think Dynasty, and I think as much as I wanted to see Swerve win the title at Revolution in person, I think if they're gonna put the title on Swerve, they did a good job on not doing it on Sting's night because he would have been a footnote.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think a little patience is a virtue for that. The only thing with patience in AEW is things change quickly. Like you can have a push one day and be off TV the next.
Tell me
So
about it.
I'm sure Swerve is a little bit fucking apprehensive right now about his standing, but I think he'll get it at Dynasty.
And then what will you do? Oh, I guess you could run Hangman back again at not Revolution, Double or Nothing if that happens, right?
Yeah. Double or Nothing's what, like 4 weeks after Dynasty?
Something like that.
Or you could have Hangman cost him the title at Dynasty and have Swerve and Hangman have like a loser. Winner goes to fight Joe at Double or Nothing, and loser has to be banned from the fucking building.
Mm.
And then have Swerve win that and then beat Joe at Double or Nothing.
So you saying have Joe uh, beat Swerve at Dynasty and then run it back at Double or Nothing?
If not beat him, have Hangman interfere in some kind of way to stop Swerve from winning.
Mm. Yeah, keep stretching it out.
Yeah.
They used to be WWE's formula back in the day. Remember, like Stone Cold face Dude Love it like 3 pay-per-views or 2 or something like that in a row.
Yep. My number two was my number one, but I bumped them down, and that is the woman that the woman that will beat Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. The man, Becky Lynch.
Famous last words.
What a good. She's been on a fucking tear, man. Like, I feel like I talk about this every 3 months. I just start naming off great matches she's had, but she's just having, as Sheamus would say, banger after banger.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Becky. Just like a good match, fun match. Made Nia look good. Still made Nia look like a beast even and lost. What was that one spot where she had to roll out of the ring and fall on her feet to not be counted out? That was a good spot with Becky.
Yeah, Nia Samoan dropped her through a table, and the ref started counting, and Nia was like, "Fuck that," and took her and drug her over to the corner and did her fucking squash move on her, and Becky had to roll out to land on her feet.
Yeah. Did the man slam to the table? I thought that was gonna be it.
Yep.
And did the leg drop executed perfectly. So hats off to Becky.
And Nia, we got to give Nia her props too, man. Nia's been doing really good work since she's been back.
Hats off to Becky.
It's fucked up.
Nia's been holding her own. The match with her and Ripley wasn't bad. Shout out to Nia too. That was your number two.
Yep.
My number two probably had one of the best matches of the week. DIY, they qualify for WrestleMania against the Brutus brothers.
Ugh.
I think. Uh, let me finish before I get into your. Uh, I mean, I think the Brutus brothers, they may be next up. Maybe not this year, but next year. I feel like every time they get on their TV matches, it's usually a really, really good match. A lot of train wreck activity going on in the ring, and DIY they're getting their chance to shine at WrestleMania finally, and it was just a really good match. I think Julius, he has potential, but I think he just has to develop a gimmick around him. But like, because he's super athletic,
Yeah.
he's got the physical too. So I'm curious to see how he's utilized in the upcoming years. But shout out to DIY, that's my number two. And what was your gripe on that? Because you gave me a
Just DIY.
what's wrong with them?
They suck.
How?
They're just not entertaining. They're channel changing to me.
Yeah, they're not meant to be like big personality. You're a Bret Hart guy. Bret Hart sucked as far
Bret
as
Hart
like,
was entertaining.
no, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
He was probably the best technical wrestler in the world during his
Bret Hart
stretch.
was entertaining.
He didn't entertain me. I liked his
Who are you to insult El Dandy? You remember that shit? There's somebody out there laughing from what I just said.
yeah,
That
on my
was a
tongue.
Bret Hart line when he was a heel. He was wrestling El Dandy.
That was entertaining. His Hart Foundation, the reunion with heel Bret Hart, that was good.
Mhm.
His other
See?
stuff was not good.
His stuff was Stone Cold.
That was heel
Right.
Bret Hart.
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, he was the in ring stuff, but
Undertaker.
I can't remember a Bret Hart promo when he was a face.
Owen.
That
Owen
was a good
Hart.
feud. That was a good feud, but Owen made that entertaining. I don't care. Fight me out there. Bret Hart, character wise, he was that run championship run. He wasn't that entertainment. He was a wizard in the ring, though.
Bret Hart is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
My ass. But like DIY, they're there to be the in ring guys. So I mean, like you said, they're not that entertaining characters, but they
They're not
serve their
even
purpose.
they're not even that entertaining in the ring, though.
I dig them in the
A
ring.
couple little twinks running around.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I learned that from my Canadian friends. It just
Oh,
means really little dudes.
I mean,
Twinks.
Ciampa's jacked. I wouldn't mess with him.
Yeah, he's a whole 150 pounds of it.
I don't know about that. I don't know how tall the guy is.
5'4".
Now that is just straight up hating.
He's like 3. He's like 3 or 4 inches too tall to get a handicap sticker.
Ciampa's taller than both of us. I just
No,
looked it
he's
up.
not.
Okay.
There's no way Ciampa's over 6 feet tall.
5'11".
You're 5'11".
Maybe on a good day, I'm like 5'10". Carved up
Ciampa,
like a brick wall.
Ciampa ain't no damn 5'11".
Okay.
How tall is Gargano?
Yeah, you're right on that. He's small.
They're the same height.
Ciampa's bigger. Johnny
That's an illusion.
Gargano. Either way, it's not like they're heavyweight champions. They're serving their purpose, and I was entertained by the match. So.
I don't care. I don't care for them. They're channel changes for me. And that, we don't have to like the same stuff. There's some people out there that think Mercedes Moné is a channel changer.
I mean, like I said, she peaked at 1 million, so somebody wanted to watch her.
I bet Ciampa and Gargano didn't.
Gargano's 5'9", according to the interwebs, but who knows?
His wife is more entertaining than he is right now on TV.
Yeah, what a weird angle. I think we talked about that last week, but I'm curious to see where they go with it.
I didn't mind what she did this week. Your fucking opponent's hurt. Go get him. Like, what are we waiting for? The whole purpose of a wrestling match is to win. And by winning, you try to hurt the other person. So because the other person gets hurt, why are we stopping? and like asking the referee if she's okay. Fuck that. Tag me in. I will get her.
Yeah,
And that's what she did.
she made it make sense. That's all we asked for, right?
She said there's blood in the water.
Yeah, because she was boring. Now she's actually got something going on. Let's see what they do with it. But my number one was your number two, so we'll need to go into detail into that since we already did. Becky Lynch, the match she put on with Nia. That's my number one.
My number one is about to spark a whole different conversation. I'm wearing a shirt right here. People's Champ. Bringing back the Hollywood Rock theme. Bringing back the Rock concert. Talking about Cody's mama. The Rock. Just so fucking good. I'm loving every Friday he's just cutting promos on Twitter.
And I can't complain about you having number one because I had him number one a couple weeks ago. So he's the Rock. He can do whatever he wants as far as the power rankings. Yeah, I do like the Twitter promos, but my only nitpick at this one is he almost cut the same exact one on Friday. The other ones he kind of switched it up and saved something for the show. The one he did this past Friday was almost the same exact one he did on TV.
Yeah. I loved on Twitter when he played Cody crying and he's just like, are you fucking kidding me?
That was hilarious.
Are you fucking crying? So good. He's just been good all around since he's been back. Honestly, I think the Cody crybabies, as much as I hate that we're not going to get The Rock and Roman at WrestleMania like we were supposed to after all these goddamn years of the bloodline, this might have been a blessing in disguise, us getting heel Rock back.
Think so?
And I've said before, I don't think he might take a little break here and there, but I don't think this is a one and done thing. I think he's back for the long haul. I think he's having a shitload of fun, and they're just gonna have to deal with it. There's reports that wrestlers are upset that he gets to cuss on social media. So fucking what? Sometimes, we're Cowboys fans, EJ. In the 90s, there were stories about guys getting cut and getting left at the airport if they were late for the team bus to go to the airport, right? Getting left at the hotel. You know who they didn't leave? Michael Irvin. You want to know why? Michael Irvin at the time was the second, maybe the third best wide receiver in the NFL, and they couldn't win without him. Emmitt Smith used to sleep in the meetings. Used to tell Moose Johnson, wake me up right before they turn the lights on. He wasn't even paying attention. You know why it was okay? Because he was Emmitt Smith. But if you were the third string running back and you even closed your eyes you blinked too long, your ass was cut. There's a pecking order. It happens in every facet of life and work environment. There's a pecking order. Some people can get away with stuff because they are more valuable to the company's bottom line. And The Rock is more valuable than fucking Jinder Mahal.
Yeah. And what happened to him after his title match against Seth?
He fucking hurt Seth Rollins before WrestleMania. They put his ass back in a managerial role.
Maybe that was his punishment.
And he's walking back out there with Indus against R-Truth and Miz.
But yeah, I agree. So these wrestlers that are complaining about him getting the curse. So growing up, your parents were cursing. You told them that's not fair to get the curse. I wish I would tell my mom or my dad what to do. Get a belt right to my ass. Like you said, there's levels to it. He's done the work. He's been in the industry for 96? He put the groundwork in, and he's on the board of directors. Like, you become a board member, and then you get the curse on TV. How about that?
Right. You become important enough to where the motherfuckers that bought the WWE, listen to me again, they bought the WWE. You're that important to where they want to pay you to be on their board of directors. You can say all the cuss words you want to then. You can drop all the F-bombs. By the way, Rock was cussing on his social media way before he came back to wrestling. What are they going to... Imagine Triple H.
Rock, tone it down a little bit.
We're gonna... The boys are getting a little they're getting a little uptight about how you can just say things like fuck on your social media. Roxy, get your stupid ass out of my. What's that meme? Shut up, bitch. Get out of my dressing room. What the hell? They're getting mad because I'm cussing. A load of
Exactly.
shit. So let's talk about the Rock and Cody's promos. I didn't like Cody's promo.
You did?
No, and
I didn't like it either.
I feel like I wanted to like it because I literally tweeted like after the Rock's promo on Friday, Cody, you got to fight back. Like I wanted Cody to let his balls drop because we've talked about it on here. It seemed like the Rock and Roman were just on a different level than them. Like when it was time for them to clap back, him and Seth, it just diarrhea Dwayne. Like really, that's what we're doing. But I'm gonna tell you why I didn't like it. It was a little too inside baseball. So there's a couple things that Cody said that weren't in the realm of a wrestling angle. Like I feel like Rock kept it to like yeah, he talked about his mom and all that, but at the end of the day, he was talking about the match they were gonna have. Am I did Rock do anything besides like say he's a heel on Twitter? That was on Twitter. He never said that shit on TV, right? On WWE programming.
I don't think so.
So, two things Cody said that I didn't like, and the reason why is because to a casual WWE fan, these things don't really matter. But to people like us, hardcore fans, we start to dissect it. One of them was he shouts out Brian Gewirtz or Gerwitz, however you say the guy's name. Now, as wrestling hardcore fans, EJ, we know who that is, right? That's the guy that helped Rock write all his famous shit when he used to come up, and now he's helping write the Rock stuff now. So Cody's basically saying, without somebody ghostwriting for you, Rock, you ain't shit. And you want me to tell me what?
I didn't even catch that part. He said that.
Yeah, he said, Rock, you go around calling yourself the final boss. Shout out to Brian Gewirtz for that nickname. Basically saying that he's writing the Rock's shit, right? Well, here's
That
the
is
thing.
too inside baseball. Now that you said that, I hate it even more.
Well, go with me on this though, EJ. You're a hardcore wrestling fan, right?
Something like that.
In AEW, when Cody was there, did they have anybody filtering Cody's promos?
Not that I can remember.
And what was the crowd doing to Cody after he came out there and cut a promo saying that because he impregnated his black wife, that he basically ended racism?
Booed him out of the building.
You started a company that everybody wanted. You were one of the founding members. For all intents and purposes, you were the main founding member. And because you didn't have somebody to filter you and to help you, by the time you left there, even when your promos were good, they didn't give a fuck. People were chanting, shut the fuck up to you. Well, now you're in WWE. Your shit gets filtered. You get bullet points. You have people writing for you. You're the biggest babyface in fucking sport of pro wrestling right now. Hey, pot, kettle. Another thing he said was The Rock's on the board and has got a bunch of yes men and shit like that. Again, things that aren't wrestling related. Wasn't Cody an EVP in AEW?
He was, but they don't acknowledge the other side, right?
I'm just this is my point though. When you go too far inside baseball, they may not acknowledge it, but we, as in the wrestling community, we see what the fuck is going on. And then we start saying that Cody's coming off like kind of a fucking hypocrite.
But is that the narrative being said over IWC and whatnot?
It's the first thing I thought.
Yeah, but I feel like we're on the minority on a lot of our Cody points.
I'm a
But
Cody fan though. I want the guy to do good, but I think his material sucked against The Rock.
well, I didn't like it for different reasons and with you, but now that you told me about the Brian Gerwitz, like, yeah, that's like, what are you doing? I'm sure somebody wrote that for him, though. Whoever wrote it for him should have probably kept that out.
Probably Triple H. Triple H don't like The Rock. Rock don't like Triple H.
Probably. The reason why I didn't like it is because I feel like it was like a knee jerk reaction to like everybody, including us, saying that Rock and Roman been cooking y'all asses for the past couple of weeks. It felt like uh, that little kid that finds out how to curse for the first time. It just didn't feel natural. It felt like he threw some buzzwords out there, little dick syndrome. Oh, and then people online were like, Cody cook Rock. Did he though? Did he cook him?
I when you're done, I have another
Oh,
nitpicker with this.
I want to hear what you gotta say.
So your boy, Bully Ray, he was on Twitter last night in this, and he was talking about uh the promo, and I responded to it, and I said I don't like it because Cody finally put bass in his voice, and he finally stood up to The Rock. But we know The Rock ain't gonna be here until the week before WrestleMania now. Like it's already been announced. Where was all this when they were face to face? Where was all this at the press conference? Where was all this when Rock was going to be on SmackDown and Cody was on Raw, and then Cody was on Raw, and then Rock was on SmackDown? Like, where was this when The Rock was going to get a chance to rebuttal you? But now that you know he ain't there, now all of a sudden you come out and you start talking like this and using words like succubus and got your little black suit on because you're Cody. Shut the fuck up.
I agree. Did anybody respond to you in the comments?
Yeah, there was some dork trying to tell me that why Cody did it because Rock was talking about his mom. And I said, yeah, but Rock also slapped the shit out of him. And he didn't say shit. He said, well, he slapped Rock too. And I was just like, I'm done arguing with you because he did, but it wasn't the same. It didn't hit the same at all. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. They're just doing so much wrong with Cody, and yet people's just ignoring it.
Man, still eating it up. So what do we know?
I was listening to Busted Open today, and Bully Ray, I agreed with him. He said Cody kind of fucking comes off and talks like a heel. The way he talks, how his cadence goes.
The suits.
He said he's basically a heel in a baby face's disguise.
I mean, we've been saying that even before this feud. How he uses those big ass words, and that's
His
not a good way.
dumbass fans don't even know what they mean.
Yeah, and that's not a good way to connect with a fan. It kind of, seems like he's better than everybody. You know, it's not like a way to
He
connect.
he does kind of come
Pretentious.
off very pretentious, like he's above everything.
It's working. I feel like he brainwashed people with finish the story, even though it has nothing to do with the story we've been told the past 4 years. I don't know. It kind of grinds my gears a little bit. It kind of irks me.
They turn him. These motherfuckers have turned me into the AEW fan that doesn't like Cody when I started out loving the fucking guy.
Hey, man, sometimes you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, right?
He's damn sure the villain because Roman's winning this match at WrestleMania.
See, I was thinking that, and that's why I want to win. But then you kind of reminded me of wasn't in the plans for Danielson to win at all. They could pull that again.
Yeah, this is a way bigger story than what that was, though. This is historical proportions.
I don't know. Like like when it started, I'm like, all right, Roman's still gonna win. I was like 80% sure. Now I think it's a toss up. I think I'm 50-50 now.
Like I said, what do you do if Cody does win?
Uh, Watch, I'll tell you, fans will turn on him eventually. Like, told you so.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
because
be the
then
new Liv Morgan.
You said put him with Liv Morgan, or he'll pull him with Liv Morgan.
I say he's gonna be the new Liv Morgan, just like Becky said. Becky said, "Y'all want to Liv to win, and as soon as she wins, you're gonna turn on her." And what they do, she won the title, and all of a sudden, people started booing her.
Where they do? Feel like she's gotten like no reaction, which is worse than getting booed.
No, she was getting booed.
Oh,
She was
really?
getting booed. Yeah, she was getting booed, and everybody went back and I want to think it was the enemies pod went back and found that fucking Becky Lynch promo and
Mhm.
was like, "Damn, this bitch is a prophet."
You know what? I think fans are so stubborn that if he does win, just so they could feel like they're right, they will keep cheering them.
I'm
I don't know.
so
I don't know what it would take for WWE fans to start booing them, and then the smarter WWE fans, they know that AEW booed them, so I think they're just gonna be cheering them just to be spiteful.
I don't. By the way, I don't want people to start booing Cody. I don't even want to boo Cody. I want them to book Cody in a better way. I want Cody to have better promos. You're going toe to toe with The Rock, the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
Right?
I don't give a fuck about succubus. I don't even know what that shit means. No, I like when you called him a whiny bitch.
But then he the thing that throws me off is him crying. I mean, I know he's white meat baby face, but like I want to see you kick ass. I don't want to see you crying like a little.
All the time. He don't just cry every now and then. This motherfucker cries once a month.
I don't know. I like the fact that he came back and became one of the biggest stars in all of wrestling, but I don't know. I guess because I grew up in the Attitude Era. I've never been a fan of like super white meat baby faces. Even when our favorite wrestler Sting, when he had an edge when he became Crow Sting, he wasn't just he had areas of gray in there.
Never saw Sting crying. All them times Ric Flair turned on him, he never cried about it. He just came back the next week and beat his ass.
Exactly. So
Could you imagine Stone Cold Steve Austin crying because the Undertaker fucking strung him up on that damn symbol, and Vince McMahon turned out to be the higher power? Could you imagine that? Stone Cold up fucking crucified and he starts crying?
I would have threw all my Stone Cold action figures out of the window if that would have happened. But yeah, I just don't know the shelf life of this white meat baby face, especially with title run. Right now it's working. It's working. Like I said, like I'm in the minority, but if they're gonna put a lengthy title run on them and like interrupt, like you said, this historic storyline that's been going on, like where do you go from after that? I don't know.
I think Cody is Charles Barkley,
In comparison to,
a superstar, likable, larger than life, never wins a championship.
oh, he's winning. You could, he's gonna
What if,
be Kevin
but,
Durant.
but what if he doesn't?
I mean, you could
Scott
say
Hall
it,
never won a championship.
but he will. But Cody will. It has to be a payoff. As much
Ted
as
DiBiase never won.
they weren't top guys, though. Scott
Ted
Hall was never.
DiBiase was the top 8 main event at WrestleMania 1.
No, he didn't.
Did he not? Who
That,
did then?
that was Hulk Hogan, Mr. T versus Roddy Piper, and Paul Orndorff.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Why am I thinking Ted DiBiase was there for that one? He was the main event of one WrestleMania, though, with Hogan, was he not?
Man, Ted DiBiase never made it in it. And that's why he never won a championship.
He was he tried to buy the fucking title from
Oh, for
Andre the
Andre
Giant.
Giant, yeah, and they reversed it. But I get what you're saying, but nah, Cody's gonna win at some point. I don't think he's gonna be the Charles Barkley.
I don't know. The money's in the chase.
He's,
Maybe they
see,
just maybe they just keep milking this fucking cow until
no,
he retires.
no. If not the WWE championship, and I think
Could
that's the one he's gonna win. He's definitely winning Drew's belt. You just trolling right now.
could you imagine fucking Cody never wins the title in his retirement, like swan song, like Sting? They're giving him, I mean, it ain't gonna be 30 years from now. Say like 5, 10 years from now, he's on Cody's last run and he gets the fucking he finally gets to the end. And he's about to fight, I don't know, Braun Breaker for for the undisputed title, and everybody thinks he's gonna win. And loses that too and retires. Oh, that'd
Yeah,
be great.
that'd be hilarious, but yeah, that's not happening. Especially with Roman being part time. I don't know. I just wanted to know what the original plan was before Punk got injured. Something we'll never know.
You know, you just you just gave me two questions. One, for the people that are bitching about The Rock coming in and taking Cody's spot, were they just gonna be okay with Punk walking in the main event WrestleMania?
Sure, they would.
But why? Rock's a way bigger star than Punk.
Because Punk is one of those like underground. He's big name, but he's not on level like The Rock or Stone Cold. He's like their guy that's still an underdog, quote unquote, and he never main event at WrestleMania, so they be pushing for that, not complaining about it.
The other thing is Seth Rollins, and this is a little inside baseball too. You know, he's doing all these interviews and stuff like that, talking shit about The Rock, about how they don't need The Rock. You know who needs The Rock? Seth Rollins. Because Seth Rollins wasn't going to sniff a main event of WrestleMania without The Rock. Because if it wasn't for The Rock being like, all right, I won't fight Roman now, but I want this tag match. Seth, you got to wrestle twice, but now you can main event one night. He wouldn't be in the main event. You know who's going to main event night one? His wife.
That's true. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that. I think he may have if Punk was not injured.
Yeah, but Punk was injured.
Yeah, so if it wasn't gonna be The Rock, yeah, if The Rock wasn't gonna be in it at all, it wouldn't be Seth's main event, and it probably would be Becky and Rhea. But it's a domino effect, though.
Yeah, so I feel like you should be thanking The Rock.
I mean, he's probably real thankful for The Rock behind the scenes. This man's in character when he's doing these interviews.
No, I don't want to hear that shit.
He's in
They
character.
they nope. They want to fucking they want to blur the lines. I don't want to hear that shit no more. Everything's real.
All right, it's still real to me, damn it. Yeah, I'm sure he's kissing The Rock's feet backstage, but I get what he's saying. What you want him to be kissing his feet in character on the line? Thank you, Rock.
I want him to fucking turn on Cody.
That would be interesting.
You know,
whispers about that. I don't know if that'll happen. What are you gonna say?
speaking of Seth, I'd be remiss if I didn't give my weekly Drew McIntyre props.
What happened? I don't. Was Drew on the show?
Yeah, him and Seth had a face to face,
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
and
He-
again,
he-
I've been a person on this show for years that just didn't see it in Drew McIntyre when he was going up against Lesnar and Lashley, and I was just like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I think I know
But
why you liked it. He shitted on Punk again.
I mean, look, anytime you shit on CM Punk, you get extra bonus points, right? Like, but he's been telling the truth with Seth. Like, why are you worried about The Rock? Like, you're the world champion. You need to be focused on me. And Seth basically was like, man, fuck you. Like, I'm not worried about you. After I get done whooping The Rock's ass, I'm gonna walk through you. Drew's like, all right, motherfucker.
Man,
I love what he said this week too. Like, I just need you to make it to the match. If I gotta drag your motherfucking ass down there, I'm beating the shit out of you and I'm taking that belt. And he better. Again, I hope Drew squashes Seth.
I don't think it's gonna be a squash, but I think he's
I
gonna
think
win.
I
What?
think it
Like
should
what?
be.
I mean, I get it. He wants him to make it to the match, but I don't get it. Why? Why does he need to be at the match? And I don't care if it's the title, a fight for a vacant title. I just want the belt. If that seems like his mission statement to win the belt, why does it have to be Seth necessarily?
I feel like if Seth pins The Rock or Roman on night one and Drew squashes him on night two, that makes Drew a big fucking star.
I hope. Cody and Seth win. Because I already told you, whoever wins night one, the other person's gonna go over in the main event night two. I think.
I don't know. I don't know about that
Well,
because
so you think
I feel like
what?
everybody's thinking like you.
So if Seth and Cody win, you think Cody just straight up beat Roman the next night?
Yeah.
That'd be anticlimactic. Just straight up match. Cody just beat it. And then vice versa. If Roman and Rock win and it's just all out bloodline rules match, I feel like everybody think that would be that'd be like too obvious if the bloodline wins if it's their rules, right?
I think if the bloodline wins night one, it's up in the air night two. I think if Cody wins night one, Cody's losing night two.
If Cody wins night one, he's losing night two.
Yes,
That's what I think too. That's what I
but I
think
think
too.
if Rock and Roman win night one, there's a really good chance Roman wins night two.
It'd have to be like
But it,
just all out, no rules, like overbooked mess. Because it'd be like Bloodline come out, or then Cody's boys will come out, and then it'd have to be like one more thing that puts Roman on top. And maybe that's what Tonga, maybe.
I feel like if Cody wins, the chance of him winning the next night is like 20%. And I feel like if Roman wins night one, the chances of him winning night two is like 58%.
I get it. It is a higher percentage a chance that Roman wins both nights because anything goes, bloodline rules. But I still think whoever wins one night is gonna lose the next night.
I feel like somebody in Cody's corner is going to turn on him. And I
Night one
hope
or
it's
night
not
two?
night two. And I hope it's not Jay Uso because this guy is a fucking star. Did you see that crowd last night when he came out?
That's how it is every week, man. He's certified, man.
Him and Jimmy, by the way, like I didn't want to see this match at WrestleMania. I wanted to see Jay and Gunther again. But that Jimmy, the way Jimmy's talking now, he reminds you of like gangbangers and like boys in the hood and shit like that. Like the way he's doing his mouth. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I
If you
told
go
you.
back and watch how he's talking, like it's very like hood 90s movie. I'm your brother. I'm your big bro. Did Jimmy get veneers too, like
That's
Roman
what
did?
it looks like, man. I know you weren't the biggest Jimmy fan, but maybe he's winning you over a little bit now. I thought Jimmy has been pretty good after they separated.
Yeah. He was so I was more Jimmy's Uso number two when they were together. But I do think when they separated, he's kind of coming to his own as he's more of a comedy act though. Like Jay's more of the serious version of it.
Mm.
Jimmy's more comedy, but I do think Jimmy's been doing good work, and I think he's been fucking honestly, if they wanted to keep them separated, I wouldn't be mad at it. But I think they were planting the seeds last night for them to get back together.
Yeah, eventually. But I mean, I always been excited for this match, but they hadn't really done enough to build up to it to this point. So I can understand why people weren't, but I knew they were eventually gonna heat it up. So that's why I was
Yeah.
always excited for it. But let's rock and roll with it.
I really wanted I think they missed the opportunity of having Jay challenge Jimmy in the middle of like The Rock and Roman and all that. Like for him to just come out and be like them, like The Rock, be like, come on, we're family. Like get back over here. And for him to be like, no, if we're family, me and him need to fight. Y'all need to stay out of it. Like we're brothers and we need to fight just like in the backyard. And have The Rock kind of sign off on it and Roman kind of I don't know. They could have tied it into the whole Rock Roman dissension a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just something as a fan of Jey Uso and a fan of The Rock, something in me wanted them two to be in the ring together, like while this story and all this shit is hot.
Yeah, I think they could have done a better job of like intertwining it and weaving it in to the actual bloodline story. I feel like it's almost like it's a little separate own storyline. And
Hmm.
Jay was the first like bloodline member, so why not tie it all in together? So I agree with you on that one.
I just don't want them to turn Jay back to fucking heel and
Nah,
put him back in the bloodline.
nah. I mean, you could, but I don't think you should. That's just too. It's like the low hanging fruit, you know.
Yeah. You can only turn Jay and make him choose his family so many times before the crowd fucking gives up on him.
Yeah, like you said. I mean, you could put that IC belt on him, but why not shoot for the moon? Who knows what's gonna happen with this world title? Like you said, you should beat Seth, but what are they doing with the Money in the Bank contract?
He might try to cash in the fucking IC title.
If they didn't learn a lesson with Austin Theory, then whoever's writing that needs to be fired. Because that'd be the stupidest thing ever if he tried to cash in on Gunther. Gunther probably still beat his ass.
I just saw something on Twitter. People are stupid.
What are they saying now on there?
It's a spoiler. I'm not gonna.
NXT spoiler?
Yeah.
I mean, you got it on TV. Oh, yeah, they're commenting on it, what you just
Yeah,
saw on
yeah.
TV.
People are commenting on it. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
I don't
But
see how you
people,
watch it while recording because that's the only thing I can watch basketball on mute. For some reason, I gotta hear like the wrestling commentary because sometimes they be sliding in facts that I don't know about.
yeah, I do like. If it's a match that I want to see again, I'll go back and watch that, and then I'll kind of hear Booker T's commentary. Like I always like to go back and watch Trick Williams' entrance of Booker T. Yeah, I like it. But I put the captions on, and I pretty much catch everything. I will say, this is not a spoiler, but the leader in the clubhouse for Street Clothes of the Week is Gigi Dolan.
Well, make note of that for next week. But it's still
Kelly
a long week.
Kincaid, she was what was her name? She was in ROH for a while. She was a wrestler. The interviewer backstage, she was a wrestler in ROH. I swear she was.
Well, I wasn't really a wasn't really. I didn't watch ROH back before they got bought by AEW, and I still don't really watch it. So you would know more than me.
Kelly Kincaid. Is that who I'm thinking it is?
No clue. You tell me.
Hold on, let me Google it real quick. Sorry for holding y'all.
Nah,
The show's almost over.
but I mean, I feel like there's no stability with some of these backstage interviewers. I feel like they have new people in NXT every other week backstage or announcing in the ring. It's hard to keep up with, you know.
Yeah.
But as far as Kelly Kincaid, I mean, is she a newer wrestler or older?
Quinn McKay. Let's see. Born. Career history. Interviewer. Part-time wrestler. May 7th, 2021 through December 2021. Wrestler. October 18 through 19. Company. Yeah, she was in ROH.
There you have it. Your intuition was right.
Her name was Quinn. Was it Quinn McKay? Yeah, Quinn McKay. I knew I recognized her. She's only 32. She's pretty young. She's younger than you, EJ.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she used to wear glasses in ROH.
Mm.
Her finishing move was the Tangerine Dream, aka the Cobra Clutch.
I didn't. I know you were watching ROH during that time.
Yeah, it's back when Kelly, not Killer Kelly, what was the other Kelly's name?
Mm.
Kelly, she won the title when I went to see ROH in New Japan at Madison Square Garden.
That was a while ago, right?
Yeah, that was 19, 18 maybe.
Mm.
It was the year Becky and Kofi Mania won. To this day, I still can't believe I didn't go to that WrestleMania. I was right there. But can I tell you a shitty story about it?
What happened?
It's a good thing that I didn't go to that WrestleMania.
How
That
come?
New York food for 3 days kicked my ass. And during WrestleMania, I had like just enough time to get to the bathroom like 4 or 5 times. So if I would have been in that fucking stadium, I'd have shit my britches.
Hey, TMI, but I appreciate you being honest.
I mean, nothing happened. I'm just saying, like, that food fucked me up. And by the time WrestleMania, like, because we flew home that Sunday night and I had my WrestleMania party. And like sitting in the airport in New York, I was like, man, my stomach does not feel good. It's like, I hope I can make it through this flight. And we got back and drove home. And like, as soon as I got home, I had to use the bathroom. I was like, okay, cool. That's over with. During WrestleMania, like 3 times, I had to go to the bathroom. And I was like, and then Marty was telling me about how awful the bathrooms were and how bad the Marty and Talkamania, they were all there. And they were like, everybody was stranded after the show. They couldn't get Ubers, they couldn't get taxis. Everybody was out till like 3 a.m. Uh, I think Talkamania said they walked to like a bar or something and just waited on everybody else to leave. But yeah, my stomach was fucked up. So chances are that would have been the worst WrestleMania experience ever.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason, so sounds like it all
Yeah, but
worked out for the better.
I fucking missed Kofi Mania and
Yeah,
Becky Lynch winning the main event.
that is historic. That was only back when it was only one night too.
Yeah. Becky main event. She made it. She was the only person. She was the last person to main event to show that Roman Reigns was actually on at
True.
WrestleMania because he was wrestling. He wrestled Drew McIntyre that year.
That's true. So literally the only reason you didn't go is because of your stomach?
No, I didn't plan on going at all. I didn't
Oh,
plan on going. Like we got tickets to go to New York because I wanted to go to Supercard of Honor at Madison Square Garden. That was the whole reason we went to New York.
oh,
And then I was kind of like on the fence about WrestleMania when the tickets went on sale and I didn't go. Then it turns out Becky was supposed to fight Ronda Rousey. And by that time, tickets had went through the fucking roof. So we were just like, we already got our tickets to fly back home. Let's just fly back home and have our WrestleMania party like we always do. And so Sunday morning, woke up, jumped on the fucking airplane. We're back at my house by noon. WrestleMania party by fucking 7 o'clock. But yeah, I went to New York. We watched NXT at like it was a wrestling podcast like viewing party at some restaurant that we went to with Marty. Then we went to the Busted Open party with Talking Mania and Marty. We went to ROH Supercard of Honor at Madison Square Garden. Went to WrestleCon. We did a couple other things too. And then of course like sightseeing because I never been to New York. So like we went sightseeing, Empire State Building, shit like that. Went to WWE Access. It's the first time I met Sting. Like, besides when I was a kid, was at that Access. Um, yeah, it was a good time.
well, besides that little situation, it sounds like it was a good trip overall.
Yeah, like I said, that didn't kick in until I got back home, so it was a real
Oh.
good trip. Because that shit, that shit would have happened in Giant Stadium. Ooh, I'd have been like, "Where's Eli Manning's locker?" Oh my God, I am a Roxanne Perez fan now. She's got a black Dallas Cowboys shirt on.
I mean, she's from Texas. I mean, you always been a Roxanne fan.
That's a damn lie.
I thought you like Roxy.
No, I didn't like Roxy. Remember, I always said I don't like her face. Like she comes off fake. But
Mm.
I think the heel thing is working for. Maybe she's like what Bully Ray said Cody was. Maybe she was always the heel in the Babyface's body.
Maybe, but F that guy.
Fallon Henley's on TV now.
I'm a big Fallon Henley fan.
Same. Well, you got anything else you need to get off, EJ?
Nah, just shout out to the listeners out there and follow us on social media, X, YouTube, Facebook.
What was this podcast you were on?
Oh yeah, shout out to the Corner Podcast. We got this thing where they have the people on the Corner Club once a month could jump on, and they selected me to go on there and had a good time. So check that out too if you follow me on social media.
They let you talk about Boot to the Face at all?
They didn't let me get my plugs in for that or Haymaker. So that was the only downside. But
And who's this podcast with?
Andreas Hale, he's on Boot, not Boot to the Face. What's the Sirius XM show? Busted Open. He's on
Yeah.
Busted Opens from time to time, but he wasn't
I-
on it. Kel Dansby works for ESPN. He was on there with their producer. So.
I recognize his name, Andreas Hell. I think he's done stuff with the New Day, hadn't he?
Yeah, him and Big E have Our Heroes Rock, where they highlight Black heroes throughout history. So
Nice. So look for EJ on there. Also, Haymaker MMA, another podcast that EJ does along with my former podcast and co-host Admire and what's my man's name? Which I'll do it with.
we do it with my boy Steve Johnson, and also Chris Sanders joins us for the boxing episodes. So follow Haymaker Combat Sport.
I don't know why. I like the fact that Steve stands up when he podcasts. I feel like
he does.
It looks like he's standing up when he's podcasting. When I watch y'all shit on Twitch or YouTube or whatever I watch it on, it looks like he's standing up.
I just think that's an optical illusion.
You don't think he's standing up?
Nah, he's sitting down.
No, I think he's maybe at the beginning he was standing up.
Maybe.
Now you fucked me up now. I'm gonna have to go look at it now. I'm always like, this nigga is serious about MMA. He is standing up. He don't even want to sit down when he's talking about it.
Maybe one episode you watching do that, but he's sitting down for the most part. And
Oh
also
my
for
God.
everybody, you need to go check out that last episode of 80 Proof. Who hadn't checked it out?
Yeah, 80 Proof came to an end this past week. Go check that out. Give us subscription your last time you can do that. Jay will still be gaming like we talked about. EJ will still be on Haymaker I'm sorry, not EJ. Admire will still be on Haymaker with EJ. And then, of course, I'll be here on Boot to the Face. And then I'll be doing Full Press Cowboys throughout the off season and the regular season. But until then, for EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. You can find us on all your social media outlets. This has been Boot to the Face. Peace.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude.